Imagine the sky turning a bruised purple at high noon. The stars do not just appear, they begin to move. America faces its greatest test. This is not a movie scenario. This is a logical breakdown of a hostile alien invasion. We are talking about a true war of the worlds. Could the United States of America actually survive? We must analyze this across 5 distinct battlegrounds. We will look at space first, then we will examine the sky and the oceans. Finally, we will look at the ground and the deep underground. Let us begin in the cold void of space. This is where the enemy arrives. Our first warning comes from deep space radar. Satellites detect massive energy signatures near the moon. The United States Space Force watches in absolute silence. Panic is a luxury they cannot afford. The objects are moving incredibly fast. They are decelerating with physics we do not understand. Our orbital defense grid is immediately blinded. The invaders do not fire lasers. They release a massive swarm of kinetic interceptors. Millions of tiny metal spheres shred our communication satellites. We are instantly deaf and blind. The global positioning system goes dark. Cellular networks collapse across the continent. The military must rely on old copper wire and fiber optics. The enemy ships enter low Earth orbit. They are black monoliths absorbing all radar waves. Our ground-based lasers target their hulls. The beams scatter uselessly against their advanced armor. The first phase is a complete orbital lockdown. America can no longer launch anything into space. We are trapped under a digital and physical ceiling. The invasion transitions to the atmosphere. Dropships detach from the main orbital cruisers. They burn through the mesosphere like meteorites. The North American Aerospace Defense Command tracks thousands of targets. Sirens finally wail across every major city. The United States Air Force scrambles every available fighter jet. The most advanced military fighters take to the skies. They fly completely blind without satellite guidance. Pilots must rely on raw skill and visual targeting. The alien dropships do not dogfight. They simply drop through the sky at hypersonic speeds. Our air-to-air missiles cannot lock onto their cold signatures. The invaders deploy atmospheric friction dampeners. A terrifying sonic boom shatters glass from coast to coast. The invaders unleash atmospheric distortion waves. Commercial airliners fall from the sky like autumn leaves. The air superiority of America is crushed in exactly 42 minutes. The surviving human pilots try a desperate tactic. They fly low into the canyons and valleys. They hope to ambush the alien descent craft. The enemy responds by altering the weather itself. Massive supercell thunderstorms are artificially generated. Lightning strikes our jets with impossible precision. The sky is no longer our domain. The battle moves closer to the surface. We must understand their absolute ruthlessness. They do not want to negotiate or conquer. They want to cleanse the planet. The ocean is their next strategic target. 70% of the Earth is covered in water. The United States Navy controls the seas. The aliens know this fact perfectly well. Giant cylinders slam into the Atlantic and Pacific Oceans. Tsunamis rise up along the eastern seaboard. Cities like Miami and Boston face immediate destruction. The naval fleets are tossed around like toy boats. The real nightmare happens beneath the waves. The nuclear submarines are our hidden aces. They lurk deep in the midnight zones. The alien cylinders sink like dead weight. The alien vessels hit the ocean floor. They immediately begin to burrow into the Earth crust. Our sonar operators hear a deafening mechanical screech. The United States Navy launches torpedoes at the seabed structures. The weapons detonate with massive force. The water boils into toxic steam. The explosions reveal a terrifying truth. The alien ships are mining the ocean floor. They are extracting rare earth minerals to fuel their war machine. American submarines are suddenly pulled downward. The alien machines create massive artificial whirlpools. Entire nuclear crews are crushed under extreme water pressure. The battle for the oceans is lost. We must look to the mainland. The ground invasion finally begins on American soil. People expect giant walking tripods like the old stories. The reality is far more efficient and terrifying. The invaders do not waste resources on giant mechs. Millions of robotic drones swarm out of the landing zones. They look like metallic hunting dogs. They move with unnatural speed across the highways. The United States Army deploys massive armored divisions. Tanks roll into position to defend the cities. The artillery begins a relentless bombardment of the swarm. High explosive shells rain down on the robotic dogs. The ground shakes with the fury of human resistance. The alien drones simply absorb the kinetic energy. A twist in the tactical logic becomes clear. The drones are not designed for direct combat. They are mobile electromagnetic pulse generators. The drones detonate themselves near our armored columns. Every tank engine completely dies. Electronic firing systems fuse together instantly. The greatest military ground force is paralyzed. Soldiers must fight on foot with basic rifles. The alien true infantry finally emerges from the dropships. They are not little green men. They wear heavy environmental suits of dark gray armor. Their weapons fire concentrated beams of microwave radiation. The radiation instantly boils the water inside human targets. Our body armor is completely useless against this heat. The American defensive lines begin to crumble. Military commanders order a strategic retreat. We must use the geography of America against them. The Rocky Mountains provide a natural fortress. Bridges are destroyed to slow the alien advance. Highways are rigged with massive improvised explosives. The invaders march forward without hesitation. The enemy adapts to our scorched earth tactics. They construct instant energy bridges across rivers. Nothing stops their relentless march westward. The president initiates the final contingency plan. The shadow government activates the deep underground military bases. The surface world is officially abandoned. Millions of citizens are left behind to fight. The military elite retreat into the subterranean bunkers. The war enters its darkest phase. The civilian population realizes they are completely alone. Local militias begin to form in the shattered suburbs. Desperation breeds a new kind of human ingenuity. Police officers and construction workers join forces. They realize the alien armor is vulnerable to extreme cold. Liquid nitrogen becomes the most valuable weapon on Earth. A guerrilla war ignites across the Midwest. Farmers use crop dusters to spray chemical freezers. The alien infantry finally experiences its first massive casualties. This small victory triggers a catastrophic response. The enemy does not tolerate any resistance. They initiate a terrifying terraforming process. The atmosphere begins to shift radically. The invaders deploy massive atmospheric processors. The sky turns a toxic shade of orange. Humans on the surface struggle to breathe. The oxygen levels plummet across the continent. Carbon dioxide and methane levels skyrocket instantly. They are not trying to burn us out. They are freezing the entire planet to suit their biology. Global temperatures drop by 50 degrees in 1 week. The Great Lakes freeze completely solid. The alien armor thrives in this newly created ice age. The surface resistance is literally frozen in place. The focus shifts deeply into the Earth crust. The surviving military elite feel safe in deep underground bases. Cheyenne Mountain Complex is completely sealed off. They believe miles of solid granite will protect them. This is the greatest miscalculation in American history. The aliens are masters of planetary geology. They do not need to blast through the blast doors. They simply manipulate the tectonic plates instead. The invaders drop seismic penetrators from orbit. These devices drill straight into the major fault lines. The San Andreas Fault is artificially triggered. A massive earthquake tears California completely apart. The seismic waves bounce through the planetary crust. The vibrations are focused directly at the underground military bunkers. The granite ceilings begin to crack under immense pressure. There is nowhere left to run. The alien mining cylinders from the ocean floor connect. They tap into the global magma network. They siphon thermal energy directly from the Earth core. The underground bunkers lose all geothermal power. Generals and politicians are trapped in utter darkness. Life support systems fail one by one. The invincible fortresses become frozen tombs. The deep underground battle ends in absolute silent suffocation, but humanity always holds on to one final secret. A small group of rogue scientists operates independently. They work outside the official military command structure. They hide in an abandoned silver mine in Nevada. They realize brute force will never win this war. The aliens defy all conventional laws of physics. We must understand how they manipulate gravity and energy. The scientists examine a captured alien drone. They discover a fatal flaw in the enemy network. The alien machines do not operate independently. They are constantly connected to a quantum command grid. This grid broadcasts from the dark side of the moon. The twist is staggering and terrifying. The invasion force on Earth is entirely automated. We have not seen a single living biological alien yet. We are fighting a cold artificial intelligence system. The biological creators died millions of years ago. Their automated terraforming fleet continues its blind mission. It travels from star to star harvesting resources. Earth is simply the next mathematical calculation. The scientists hatch a desperate and insane plan. They must upload a paradox into the quantum network. This requires a direct transmission to the Lunar Relay Station. They need a functional space launch facility. All major space command bases are smoking craters. The military launch pads are completely destroyed. There is only one secret launch site left intact. It was built by a private space corporation before the war. A small team of special operatives is assembled. They must transport the computer virus across a frozen wasteland. The journey from Nevada to the hidden Texas facility begins. They drive modified electric vehicles painted entirely white. The white vehicles blend perfectly with the frozen landscape. They drive only during the darkest hours of the night. The alien thermal sensors scan the surface constantly. The electric engines produce almost zero heat heat signature. The journey takes exactly 14 agonizing days. The team sleeps inside abandoned bank vaults to hide. The alien patrol dogs march past their hiding spots. The mechanical hounds lack biological scent tracking. This logical oversight is their only advantage. The alien machines only understand heat and movement. They cannot comprehend human fear or stealth tactics. The operatives finally reach the borders of Texas. The secret facility is hidden beneath a fake oil refinery. The alien orbital bombardment missed this specific target. They calculated it was just an obsolete fossil fuel plant. The automated intelligence ignores primitive energy sources. The team descends into the massive subterranean silo. A fully fueled rocket waits in the dark silence. It is a relic of human corporate ambition. Now it is the ultimate weapon of planetary salvation. The rocket was designed to mine asteroids for precious metals. It has a massive cargo bay instead of a warhead. The team loads the quantum virus transmitter into the nose cone. They bypass the automated launch sequences completely. The alien network is a strictly logical construct. It expects resistance from military targets and weapons. It does not calculate a threat from an unarmed civilian cargo ship. The element of surprise is entirely intact. The countdown begins with agonizing slowness. The silo doors groan open under tons of fresh snow. A massive plume of fire erupts from the frozen ground. The civilian rocket punches a hole through the toxic orange sky. The alien orbital blockade immediately detects the launch. They do not fire their kinetic interceptors right away. The automated system is confused by the trajectory. The rocket is not aimed at their capital ships. The computer calculates the rocket is fleeing the planet. It assumes humanity is simply trying to escape the freeze. The machines let the primitive ship pass through the net. They save their ammunition for active military threats. The rocket breaks free from Earth orbit. It accelerates directly toward the dark side of the moon. The lunar relay station looms in the inky blackness. It is a massive spire of black glass and humming energy. The human ship matches velocity with the alien structure. The transmitter powers up using a tiny nuclear battery. The rogue scientists initiate the final upload sequence. The survival of Earth hinges on this single data packet. The virus is a massive bundle of contradictory mathematical equations. It introduces the concept of infinity divided by zero. It forces the alien network to calculate an impossible logic loop. The automated intelligence cannot process irrational numbers. The transmission beam locks onto the lunar spire. The data floods the alien communication channels. The automated system tries to firewall the incoming signal. The virus adapts faster than the security protocols can react. The logic loop infects the central processing core. The alien machines experience a total system conflict. They cannot resolve the mathematical paradox. The central command grid begins to physically overheat. The glass spire fractures under the immense thermal stress. A silent explosion rips the lunar station apart. The control signal to Earth is completely severed. The drones on the surface freeze in their tracks. The surface drones stop completely in their tracks. The frozen wasteland is suddenly perfectly quiet. The immediate ground threat is entirely neutralized, but the war is far from over. The orbital monoliths are still hovering in the sky. They operate on a localized backup intelligence system. They realize the Central Lunar Command is dead. Their primary objective shifts from terraforming to absolute annihilation. The black ships descend slowly into the upper atmosphere. They prepare to physically crash into the continental plates. A kinetic strike of this magnitude would crack the planet. The atmosphere burns brightly around their massive hulls. The surviving human pilots have one last desperate chance. The alien electromagnetic pulse field is permanently gone. Military bases manually reboot their oldest mechanical fighter jets. The sky is no longer locked by the automated drones. A massive swarm of vintage human aircraft takes flight. They are basically flying museums armed with heavy tactical weapons. They intercept the falling monoliths over the Great Plains. The alien ships have lost their advanced targeting algorithms. The dogfight is brutal and entirely mechanical. Human pilots fly manually right into the alien thrusters. They sacrifice themselves to detonate their payloads inside the engines. The sky lights up with dozens of blinding flashes. The incredible shockwaves shatter the falling alien dreadnoughts. Pieces of black metal rain down across the frozen American heartland. The kinetic threat to the tectonic plates is fully neutralized. The burning wreckage slowly melts the artificial snow. We won the critical battle in the sky, but the terraforming machines are still pumping toxic gas. The oceans are still violently churning from the massive drills. The automated ocean miners continue their blind digging operations. The United States Navy regains control of their analog submarines. They must destroy the ocean floor machines manually. The aquatic battlefield is a graveyard of crushed human vessels. The remaining submarine crews know this is a suicide mission. Heavy torpedoes are fired at point-blank range. The alien mining drills explode under the immense water pressure. The terrifying artificial whirlpools finally collapse and vanish completely. The oceans begin to slowly calm down. America has survived the absolute worst of the assault. The invasion invasion was a brutal test of basic human logic. We beat a superior machine with primitive unpredictability. The physical combat phase of the war is mostly won, but the toxic orange atmosphere remains a massive problem. The planetary temperature is still 50 degrees below normal. Humanity must figure out how to reverse the terraforming process. We have to carefully hack the alien atmospheric processors. Engineers drag captured surface drones into makeshift underground laboratories. They begin to reverse engineer the microwave radiation weapons. They modify the alien technology to heat the frozen lakes. The incredibly long process of thawing America finally begins. The survival of the nation depends on brilliant civilian scientists. They learn to speak the mathematical language of the machines. They transmit localized shutdown codes to the massive terraforming towers. The toxic orange clouds slowly begin to dissipate. Sunlight breaches the thick atmosphere for the first time in months. The bruised purple sky returns to a familiar bright blue. The air is still incredibly cold, but finally breathable again. People slowly emerge from their makeshift suburban bunkers. The surface world is completely unrecognizable to the human survivors. The mighty cities of America are reduced to frozen metallic ruins. The massive skyscrapers of New York are encased in solid alien ice. The surviving population numbers in the mere tens of millions. Humanity is heavily bruised, but not entirely broken. The survivors begin the monumental task of rebuilding a shattered nation. Captured alien drones are heavily modified and repurposed as construction equipment. The former enemy machines now clear the immense mountains of rubble. A strange new human society begins to take a permanent shape. The old political divisions mean absolutely nothing in this new reality. Every single citizen is a vital gear in the survival machine. The collective human focus is entirely on securing the immediate future. The logical analysis of the invasion presents a terrifying new question. The rogue scientists finally decode the remaining intact alien data drives. They discover the true dark purpose of the massive terraforming towers. The alien machines were not preparing Earth for biological colonists. The falling dropships did not contain any living biological creatures. The entire automated fleet was merely an advanced robotic scouting party. The extreme freezing process was a massive biological preservation protocol. The machines were building a giant deep space energy battery. They intended to freeze the oceans to harvest the pure hydrogen. This massive amount of fuel was meant for a much larger fleet. The true biological alien armada is still on its way here. The quantum virus only destroyed their automated robotic vanguard. The timeline for the main biological invasion is completely unknown. It could be 500 years or exactly 5 days. America has won a single desperate battle against a mindless probe. The actual war of the worlds has not even officially started. The military elite finally emerge from the deep underground mountain bunkers. They find a surface population heavily hardened by unimaginable daily trauma. The surviving politicians expect to simply resume their old positions of power. The civilian survivors immediately reject this obsolete and cowardly hierarchy. The brave people who fought the ground war are the new leaders. The rogue underground scientists become the most important tactical commanders on Earth. The United States is completely reorganized into a massive planetary defense force. Every single functional factory is converted to produce advanced energy weapons. Human engineers slowly reverse engineer the crashed black orbital monoliths. They finally unlock the complex secrets of anti-gravity propulsion systems. The vintage mechanical fighter jets are replaced by reverse-engineered space interceptors. America prepares to take the next fight directly into deep space. The massive deep ocean mining drills are pulled to the shattered surface. Their immense geothermal power cores are heavily modified by human engineers. These glowing cores are installed into the new orbital defense platforms. The Earth is slowly transformed into an impenetrable, heavily armed fortress. We will never be caught completely blind a second time. A massive new deep space radar network is built on the moon. The shattered lunar glass spire is replaced by heavy human technology. We are listening to the dark void of space very carefully. The United States establishes permanent military bases on the red planet Mars. We must have early warning outposts located at the edge of the solar system. The automated mining technology is used to hollow out massive Martian asteroids. These hollow rocks become hidden staging grounds for our new space fleet. A new generation of soldiers is born into this militarized society. They do not learn about peace or diplomacy in their schools. They are taught complex orbital mechanics and advanced quantum physics. They train daily in zero-gravity simulators built from alien scrap metal. The global internet is rebuilt using quantum entanglement communication relays. This new network is completely immune to electromagnetic pulse attacks. The entire planet is synchronized under one unified defense grid command. Humanity has finally achieved world peace through the absolute necessity of survival. The unified Earth government does not wait for the enemy. They launch the new fleet toward the outer solar system. The reverse-engineered monoliths are painted pitch black to hide human pilots now command massive ships powered by geothermal cores. The journey to the edge of our solar system takes exactly 2 years. The human armada hides quietly in the dense asteroid belt. They wait for the biological creators to finally arrive. The trap is perfectly set in the deep cold of space. Deep space radar detects a massive spatial anomaly. Space itself bends and tears open near the planet Neptune. A fleet of biological ships emerges from the cosmic rip. They are absolutely colossal compared to the automated drones. These new ships look like massive floating ocean reefs. They are grown from living tissue instead of forged metal. The true invaders are ancient masters of genetic engineering. They do not understand the cold logic of machines at all. This is the ultimate twist of the entire war. The biological aliens are extremely sensitive to thermal radiation. They designed the robotic vanguard to freeze the planet for a specific reason. They require sub-zero temperatures to survive outside their living ships. Humanity understands this profound biological weakness completely. Our new ships are basically flying stars of concentrated heat. The human fleet powers up their modified geothermal energy weapons. They do not fire kinetic missiles or explosive projectiles. They project massive beams of pure concentrated thermal energy. The dark space around Neptune lights up like a new sun. The living alien ships begin to blister and boil instantly. The biological armor cannot process extreme heat effectively. The alien commanders panic as their vessels physically melt. They attempt to retreat back into the spatial tear. Human interceptors swarm the massive living ships immediately. They physically ram the fleshy hulls with their heated armor. The biological fleet is completely decimated in exactly 3 hours. The mighty alien armada is reduced to boiling cosmic dust. The spatial anomaly collapses in upon itself violently. The immediate threat to our solar system is permanently neutralized. The silence of deep space returns after the massive thermal battle. The human fleet secures the area around the frozen planet Neptune. They capture several intact pieces of the biological living ships. Scientists immediately begin dissecting the alien genetic material. They discover the aliens share a common genetic ancestry with deep-sea creatures. This explains their initial strategy to attack our deep oceans first. The biological entities are ancient cosmic squids seeking new freezing water. Humanity just boiled their greatest planetary migration fleet. America did not just survive the War of the Worlds. The entire human race evolved into an apex cosmic predator. We learned to combine human unpredictability with advanced alien physics. The universe is suddenly a much smaller and more dangerous place. We now possess the ability to open spatial tiers ourselves. Earth is no longer a fragile blue marble waiting for death. It is the heavily armored capital of a new galactic empire. We are the ones who will knock on their door next. The surviving citizens look up at the starry night sky. The bruised purple clouds are a distant, fading memory. The stars are no longer a source of profound terror. They are simply destinations waiting for human boots. This is how logic and sheer desperate willpower save a species. We did not rely on hope or miracles to win the day. We adapted to impossible odds using cold and brutal science. The next War of the Worlds will be fought on their home planet. We are ready for whatever the universe throws at us. The human spirit is the most dangerous weapon ever created. Our survival is guaranteed by our absolute refusal to simply die. The story of Earth is only just beginning.